The critical and box office failure of The Exorcist II: The Heretic helped put the film franchise into a deep sleep. William Peter Blatty, more than a little annoyed by the second film, released his own sequel in the form of a novel in 1983. Legion was a bestseller, not that you could tell from the New York Times, who refused to include it on their bestsellers list. Blatty sued the paper, but the Times stated that the bestseller list was not mathematically tabulated, but rather an editorial. In essence, Blatty's case laid bare the fact that they simply had made the list up. This dust-up overshadowed the book itself in the press, which is a real shame, because the novel is superior to the original in just about every way. In 1990, Blatty got the chance to make his own film sequel. He'd previously made the brilliant but underrated The Ninth Configuration, based on his own novel Twinkle Twinkle Killer Kane. Finally, 17 years after William Friedkin's blockbuster, The Exorcist received a legitimate successor. Thematically, Blatty returns to familiar grounds, the problem of evil, the mystery of faith, but he adds a distinct third element this time, the honor of martyrdom, a theme only briefly suggested at the end of the first film. Three key conversations in the film form the base of the film's thesis. In the first, Father Dyer discusses his favorite movies with his superior, the university president. Dyer chooses It's a Wonderful Life, which is a movie about a wayward angel who ultimately finds salvation. The president's favorite is The Fly, a movie about the hubris of human knowledge and the inevitable downfall of a scientist who meddles in God's domain. Very much an Icarus myth. At this point, we're not sure which path Detective Kinderman, this film's protagonist, will take, an angel ascending or falling in flames. The second conversation takes place in the lobby of a movie theater between Kinderman and Dyer. Kinderman explains that he's overtired because his mother-in-law has come to stay and has brought a live carp with her. The fish has come to signify Kinderman's wariness with the impurities of this world. He states that he hasn't had a bath for 3 days. The world is making him impure. His resolution to the problem? I can't go home, because if I see it, I'll kill it. The third key conversation is between Kinderman and the Gemini killer. The Gemini, inhabiting the body of Father Karras, asks who he sees when he looks at him. Kinderman replies, I see a man who looks like Damien Karras. The Gemini responds by saying, if you look through the eyes of faith, you'd see me. The Gemini then relates a vignette about showing a decapitated head its detached body in its final moments. The implication here is that cruelty and pain is the only true language that mankind understands, that the physical world obscures true meaning. The martyr, that is the decapitated head viewing its body, has a clarity that is impossible for the healthy to ever have. So what is the movie saying through these exchanges, as well as the main horror plot? Simply this. Unbelievable cruelty and horror exists in this world, such as the torture and decapitation of a Catholic schoolboy, or the murder of a priest in a confessional booth, or the vampirism of a medical patient on his hospital cot without spilling a drop of blood. These horrors exist because without them, humans cannot understand good. That without evil, good becomes meaningless in a fallen world. In the end, Kinderman can see the Gemini and the demon behind him for what it is worth. In a bravado speech that's 9/10 of the way to over the top, George C. Scott rejects the evil. His speech is essentially indistinguishable from the Roman ritual, the rite of exorcism performed by Fathers Marin and Karras in the first film. At that moment, he frees his friend Damien Karras with both a bullet and with love. Kinderman chooses to become the salvaged angel instead of the corrupted scientist. It's a Wonderful Life, with a single L, instead of a world where men are no more than insects.